Hey there, fellow maker. Welcome to the shop. You got Bill today, and it's time to get back to Bender. That's right. Our shiny buddy is ready to make it to Atlanta. That's right. I'm planning on getting this done, at least workable, by Dragon Con. Took a little bit of a break. We've been busy. Had a couple of jobs, that Avowed Axe, and then we did that Borderlands Blaster for Thingergy. Plus, I've been on the road this year. It's been a busy year for travel. But I'm back and I'm committed to working on only this until he is ready for Dragon Con. Now, because I have a deadline, that means my decision tree is starting to get pruned. That means this is going to be a version 1. We'll get him workable and in a really fun state, but I've got some further stretch goals we will try and hit after Dragon Con. To get some momentum on this project, I decided to work on just the car for this video, and that started with something I already know a lot about, and that is sanding. I left the car body with just a whole bunch of filler primer on it, and it was ready for some 220 grit sandpaper. I used a flat sanding block to do a bunch of the sanding so that it wouldn't go down into any of the valleys. I know on the hood and the trunk there are a couple of low spots. By sanding it with a flat block, it made it really obvious where those low spots were. I also used a card scraper to tackle some of the higher spots. That was super useful, using that straight edge to just scrape away the high areas. I mixed up a body filler to fill in the low spots, and I overfilled those low spots with a lot of the body filler. Then I went back in with that sanding block and carefully sculpted away everything that wasn't the car body. By leaving a little bit of filler on there, I removed those low spots and I have a nice smooth hood. I also took the opportunity to take a break from sanding just so I could paint the inside of the car black. Seemed prudent. Woo. Well, I could probably spend more days on this to make it perfect, but I think it's at a point where I can live with it. It's time to prime this. I'm going to use a catalyzed primer, put on a couple of good coats, and probably wet sand it. Hopefully that'll be good enough for what I want. I think we're mostly there. There are a few little imperfections that I'm just letting slide in the interest of not losing my sanity. But yeah, also I'm very done with sanding. Very done. Before doing any priming, I cleaned all of the parts off using a degreaser. This is to get any dust and human goo off of the surfaces. And this included the car body and, of course, the smaller parts, the headlights, the windshield, and the hubcaps. I attached all of those little pieces to sticks to make it easier to paint them. And I made a wire harness for the car body so that I could hang it while spraying on the paint. All of the parts got a good 2 or 3 thick coats of that catalyzed primer. I made sure to put a lot on there so that it would be a nice thick shell to sand away so that I can make everything really smooth. Our fully primed car body here is ready for another round of sanding, but I wanted to come up close and show you all some of the details, why we got to do a little more sanding. I want a nice glossy finish on this, and if we look close, we see a texture. That's what we want to get rid of with some wet sanding. There's also some spots here. I bumped that with my elbow while I was painting it. It's one of the reasons I like using that catalyzed primer, because I know even if I spray a lot extra on here to cover that mistake, that it will fully cure, whereas a rattle can of spray paint would probably sag more as it dries. The finish we can see is pretty good. There's a little bit of lumpiness there I'm just gonna live with. And if I look at the front here, there's just a little shadow of a seam there. We'll try and get rid of as much of that with sanding as possible. But this is where I'm at now, and I'm quite happy with it. I just have like a day of wet sanding in my future. Fortunately, I have a full bottle of cosplay tears over there to use as lubricant for all the wet sanding. We ended up with a really nice summer day, so Brittany and I spent it sanding on the back porch. Here we are after an afternoon of wet sanding on the porch and beautiful 80-degree weather. Look at it out there. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. The little seam that was here is completely gone as far as I can tell. All the pebbliness and texture from the primer is gone. I did a 400 grit wet sand and then I went over it with 600, and I think I'm ready for paint. I'll have to sand all the accoutrements that are gonna go on there, but this big fella is just about ready for paint. I'm doing the last bit of sanding here, these smaller parts that'll eventually be chrome color. The car is ready to go, and I went through all my Createx paints. I got a bunch of these from my buddy Chad over at Hubcaps. He dropped off a bunch after Emerald City Comic Con last year. I really like these Wicked colors. I used these on the Borderlands blaster we did recently for Thingergy. So I got all my blues, including this pearlized one. I want a little bit of a pearl in the car. I think that'll look really good with a gloss coat over it. But before that gets done, I gotta get the rest of this sanding done. But we're close. Well, I have to sand Bender's head at some point. That'll be the last bit of sanding, but we're close to getting all the car sanding done here today. And I'm excited. So next step is paint. Yeah. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color. The faux metal parts were first painted a nice glossy black. Then I hit them with a lacquer chrome paint. This is paint from Allclad. Once that was dry, I clear coated everything with their aqua gloss. This is to protect that nice chrome finish. For the car body, I mixed up a delicious looking blue paint, and I used an HVLP sprayer to make sure I could cover the whole thing as quickly as possible. Well, I love this blue. I really love how it turned out, but unfortunately I had a little bit of an oopsie. I oversprayed a bit and it ran. I tried to clean it up, but it still looks a little bit goofy. So I'm gonna have to sand that spot so it's nice and smooth again, and probably just blast the whole thing with another round of the blue. But that's okay, it's gonna look really good. Now we're talking. Here's that spot that had the goof up, and it looks perfect now. Oh yeah, I am very happy with that. Look at that. Love that blue. Urgh. It's time to clear coat the car, and I want to use this stuff. This is a 2-component gloss clear. You pop this button here, you mix the 2 components, and then you spray it. You got like 48 hours for it to work. I've had this can for 4 years now, and it claims it expired 2 years ago, so it might not even be good anymore, but I bet it is. To find out, I'm gonna spray a little bit right here on this patch of blue that I sprayed yesterday, and I'll see if it cures. It should only take a couple of hours, and if it does cure, then I will use this on Bender's car. But I'm doing this test now because it might not work. Nice thick coat right there. Come back in a couple hours and see if it's cured. Good news, everyone. This cured completely in just a couple hours, so I think this can is good to go. I can spray a couple good layers on the car body. Look at it. Oh, I love the gloss. It turned out really great. Better than I could have hoped, especially for having sprayed it in my backyard. It's fully cured now, and I can say the car body is pretty much done. The last thing I want to finish up today is to get the headlights and taillights installed on here so we can drive Bender around in his shiny new car. Here are the lenses that I made a while back for the front and rear lights, and it turns out these with the paint added are a snug fit, which means I can just press them in without any glue, and if I have to pop them out for any reason, like if I want to try something different with the lens, I can pop those right out. Nice and snug. All right, and then I have some specialty electronics for this. I think I showed this off before. This is just an off-the-shelf lighting kit for our car, so I'll get all of this installed in there. But first, these need to get attached to the car. I think these are gonna get put in just like the lenses temporarily for now. Oh, that is really snug. Actually, that wants to stay. Oh, that's really satisfying. I think I'll shore this up on the back with a little bit of Gorilla Tape to make sure it's secure in there, and also in case I need to take it out for any reason. But boy, those look really good, don't they? Let's get that installed. Oh, look at it. All right, that's all cool. Here's the front one. It's actually perfectly snug. There we go. I'll tape those, make sure they don't go anywhere, but that's so cool. All right, let's get this attached to the car. Actually, before the light show, let's get these hubcaps installed. The light show can be our sort of grand finale for today. I designed this so that there's a screw hole in the back. I have to feed a screw through there. There we go. There's 3 of them, and those screw into the back of this. I'm using M4s for everything here, so that I can use the same screwdriver, this one that I've installed in Bender's head, to screw in everything. Makes everything a lot easier when the tool you need is permanently attached to your project. With 3 of those, our hubcaps installed. I'll just do the other 3, and then we can get on with the light show. Oh, and I nearly forgot the windshield. The actual glass part is cut out of a piece of PETG. I just projected this from the CAD drawing and then traced that on a piece of plastic and cut it out with the bandsaw. It's nice and flexible, and it should be able to just pop right into the seam on the bottom of this thing. There we go. And I think this will be a friction fit, just like with some of the other parts. Gonna put it in there. There we go. Just with friction for now, and I can pop that out if I have to, but how cute is that? I love it. Oh yeah, it's coming together. Now the lights can get installed, and there's 2 different sizes, I think, or no, I think I swapped them out so that they're the same size. This plug needs to be near the middle of the car. This can go in there, and then these get fed to the back. And I'll tape these in here all nice and tidy like, so that we don't have a mess this whole time. All right, real moment of truth time here. Everything's taped up in there, should be all tidy. And this goes right on. Those line up. Let's see, can my power cable reach? Gets plugged into the receiver there. And then I just have a couple of screws that attach the car body to the RC car. There we go. I'll get those all screwed in and we'll see how it looks with Bender in it. There it is. Check it out. We've got lights. Headlights are on. Tail lights are on. Oh, yeah, he looks so good. Let's put Bender in there and see how the whole package looks. Oh, he's so tall. Look at him. How it's so perfect. He looks the part. This is like it leapt right out of the show. I love this so much. Look at that. Oh, I gotta drive this around. I gotta take it outside and make my neighbors wonder what it is I do for a living. Hey, thanks so much for joining me on this journey, and thanks for being so patient and giving me such wonderful feedback about this project. I'm really excited to get this done in the next few weeks and bring it down to Atlanta with me. Hope you'll join me on that journey. Thanks for watching, and a special thanks goes out to the members of our Extra Credit Club. These are the fine human beings who support us with their hard-earned money over on Patreon or right here through YouTube memberships. We couldn't make these videos without you. Please keep that up. You're awesome. That'll do it for me and our pal Bender in the shop today. Look forward to a next installment very soon, because I'm very excited to get back to work on this guy. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next build.